From the west side of Chicago and all across the world, it's The Greg Show, starring Gregory Struss. Show number 41! I'm Scotty Joe Vegas, inviting you to stay tuned for the next 30 minutes because we will bring you an Indian summer filled of Taboo Topics! Plus more entertainment than you can shake a stick at. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for your next president, Mr. Gregory Struss!
Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah! God bless it.
¿Cómo está? Bueno, Chesh. And welcome to the Greg Show. I'm Greg Struss. And yes, Indian summer is upon us. And the big chief, did you meet him out here? The big chief of Cable Television City?
Who's the big chief?
Chief Triple Play. And he not only walked up to me and says, "How are you doing? Where's the rest of the money for the cable bill?" Thank you. Indian summer. I think of Tony Bennett when he did that MTV special, Unplugged. Summer, Indian summer. I love that song. And you know what's nice about Indian summer?
What's nice about Indian
summer? All the bees come out, then they're buzzing, you're making the honey. If you like that kind of thing, of course.
I believe this is early September.
So anyway, yes, it's and I'm just kind of like at a standstill today. I was kind of lost because I'm driving out here on 290 because we take the 290 west to the York Road exit, and somewhere in between Mannheim and York Road, I lost my tie. My tie just blew out of the car, so that's what you get for having the top down.
Maybe you should talk to Billy Graham about getting found.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. Manischewitz, as Grandpa Struss used to say, Hillary Rodham Clinton's troubles just do not seem to be going away. You know, she her popularity is taking a hit in the recent polls, and it's diminishing all because of alleged email violations that she has not been truthful about. All right, so she was working for the State Department as the Secretary of State and allegedly sent classified information via email to people. So she turned over this server, and now there's a bunch of deleted emails that were considered classified, okay? So they're making a big deal out of this, and she's taking a hit in the poll. But, you know... So anyway, she was on an unsecure computer server, whereas her husband, President Bill Clinton's popularity surged when he got caught with a female server. So it was a long way to go, but we got there.
I think Hillary's fat.
She's like this. And would you please stay in your shop?
Or as Donald Trump would say, and dumb.
And the Donald, his numbers are kind of increasing, like his hairline. And I don't know, I still think he's kind of a spoiler. I think he's kind of the spoiler right now.
I'm going to make a prediction right now. Our own government's going to take him down because he's talking about too many incentive ways of fixing our country through taxes, through automobiles made out of this country.
Thank you.
Damn it.
But such is life. Kanye West went on...
That's life. You know that's what all the people say. You're riding high in April.
Shot down in May.
Sorry.
Thank you. Let's welcome back young Ed Bueller. He's back on...
Hey, everybody. Hey, it's Eddie Boys in the camera area.
Thank you. Anyway, Kanye West went on a diatribe on MTV's Video Awards.
Really?
Where he announced that in 2020... the Kanye is going to be running for the office of President of the United States. So let's just hope his so-called popularity's expiration date comes due before that time. We don't have to worry about Kanye. Can you imagine? Isn't he with the who are those?
Kardashian.
What is their appeal? I have absolutely no idea.
Big boobs.
And every time that I look on the program grid on my Comcast Xfinity program guide, what do I see but I am Caitlyn? Like Caitlyn is, I am Caitlyn. She's like plastered all over
let's give one thing to her. She's trying to look more like a woman than the girls have been lately. So there you go. With their pants and their pantsuit. This is 1940. You're not supposed to wear a pantsuit. Sorry.
And what is it with all this heat? What is it with all this heat? We have like this massive heat storm coming through. Not a heat storm. What is it called? A heat wave. And it was so hot that I saw a Berwyn Fire Department playing with his hose. Great show tonight. We have an Indian summer full of taboo topics. Lots of stuff going on in the news that just is not good.
Not good.
We have police officers that are not making it. We have people that are disrespectful. We have people that are rude. People wanting things for free. People feeling entitled. People feeling like, hey, this is owed to me. And this is what's going on. And we're going to talk about it tonight. I'm Greg. This is The Greg Show. We're reinventing community television from the west side of Chicago. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back in just a moment. And I was like, you know what? No wonder your life is so fun. That's how I feel about it. It's fun. Up. So, long story short.
How many tattoos does she have? Are we still talking about her?
Okay, we are back here at the Greg Show. I'm Greg Struss, along with Scotty Joe Vegas.
What's up, bitches?
When did that become acceptable?
Probably 1990-ish.
There is no way.
Word to your mama.
Never used that word. Word to your mama and stuff
now,
like that.
Now, listen.
It was never.
The Caucasian part of our relationship. I remember there was other. Excuse me. There's other channels that we would go down, and we would have like you, bitch. Are we recording?
Okay. Anyway, I guess we'll get to that little aside in a moment. I don't remember that because we never. What did we used to always say? Like, what's up, mofo? Or
word to your mama. That was like when Ice. Vanilla Ice came out.
That is just really a scary shot.
Good morning, everybody. I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's come in a little bit. Let's match our shot.
You know, I tell everybody at home, I do me. I do me in a minute.
All right, let's see Scott again. Let's take a look at Scott. And
I do me like you wouldn't believe. I'm pretty.
Okay, now let's see if we got a match shot here of me now.
Dueling chins, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, with my $1 teeth whitening. Anyway, Here's what we want to tell you about. We want to tell you about Google Plus, right? You have a circle. There are circles. You can circle me on Greg Struss on Google, where my friend, Dan DeBoard, always watches the show and tells us he was a ladies' man in high school. You know that? He would give you a run for your money.
No way.
Dan was the ladies' man.
He was pulling out of Riverdale and Dalton skanks, and I was worldwide global. I was like Calumet City laying a little bit of pipe like a plumber.
I don't know. But,
I'm sorry, I really wasn't.
You got busy, he got busy, and I really don't know what my
And what did you do? You were like, I've been terribly lonely, forgotten in Riverdale.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened?
So anyway, we want to say a special hello to all of our friends at the Suburban Fellowship Center in Forest Park, Illinois.
At Forest Park, Illinois.
Do you know what the Suburban Fellowship Center is? Suburban Fellowship Center is a place where people go and attend meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay? They work with people who are in halfway houses. All right? So it's a place to go, and it's had a bad rap for a number of years because there's a thing in recovery called 13 stepping. All right, it was the 12 steps. The first part is admitting powerlessness, much like I have with tonight's show, and then the 12th step is working with others. Now the 13th step is when you pick up a chick or you pick up a dude and you start, talking about recovery. That is not real recovery because two sick people cannot make one well.
Amen.
All right? So people kind of go to these clubs. They're called
Al-Anon.
No, they are not called Al-Anon. They are called...
Al-Anon.
Please, let me think for a minute. We don't have a minute. What are they called?
I'm sorry, what?
Al-Anon.
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 Al-Anon, okay.
Al-Anon Club.
Sertoma.
No, they're called Al-Anon Club.
My mother would always go to Sertoma and talk about, or was that the
Oh,
one?
that's right. She was on. That's right.
Thank you!
I'm sorry if I'm barking.
Geez, I couldn't tell that you were
I just don't know.
You remind me of my brother today that told me to F off twice, but then didn't apologize. And then I went somewhere and got crazy. Crazy.
Did you win?
Oh, I went to church.
Okay, that's good. So anyway, these clubs are where people go and attend meetings, and they've had a bad rap because people go for the wrong reasons. They're going to pick up they're going to pick somebody up who's vulnerable versus
That's what I've heard.
working on themselves.
The best part of Narcotics Anonymous is you can pick up chicks, really good-looking ones there. Yeah. And for all you guys with low self-esteem, I recommend going to those meetings. Go ahead.
There are also meetings called Sexaholics Anonymous, all right? These are meetings where people who have issues with sexual addiction. Now, I remember a friend of mine, now this is not, I've talked about a friend.
Is this sex with other people or is this sex with yourself?
This is sex is like on your mind constantly, all right? So these are the people that are like, driving down the street and rear-ending cars because they're diddling with their dad.
Wow.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Like going to the hardware store and trying to pick out things?
Yeah, going to,
hey.
okay, that kind
I've
of
been
thing.
there. Yeah,
or you're in the park and you're, hey, come over and take a look and, okay. So sex is constantly occupying their mind. And so what happens is when we talk about problems, we have life areas. You have your home life, you have your social life, you have, which is your friends. Home is like family, your friends, you have your job, you have your finances, you have your health, okay? And you also have like legal, all right? The legal department of your life. Most of us stay out of trouble, but once in a while when we start getting a little too deep into our addiction, it becomes a legal problem, all right? So the belief is that when two or more life areas have been affected, usually there's a substance abuse issue, all right? When we're talking about sex addiction, it could be getting caught, all right? Getting caught masturbating in public.
Oh, my God.
Getting caught leering in someone's window.
Note to self, never masturbate in public. Yeah, back.
There's people that are doing that kind of thing while they're driving. They get into an accident, and all of a sudden the airbag goes off, and they pass out, and guess what's hanging out? So it becomes a legal issue. They rear-ended
What
somebody.
neighborhood do you live in? I don't
I'm
ever
just
see
saying
this.
that this is real, all right? Now, I remember people saying, oh, there's no such thing as sexual addiction. There is such thing as sexual
no doubt.
addiction. Okay? So... and then when we talk about substance, we can be talking about internet porn. I think I think men. I don't know a man that's not looking at it.
The reason why Tom Brady didn't want to give his phone over to the NFL is because he had porn on it. Hillary, she probably had some kind of porn. Porn, kids, porn. Yeah. Porn kills.
So when you talk about some of this stuff, it's real.
It's real.
And so what happens? People go to meetings. And I don't know, the Sexaholics meetings or Sex Anonymous meetings have to be pretty interesting, good things that people talk about.
Not bad.
So, but anyway, I don't know why we ended up, why I ended up talking about that?
Yeah, why did we end up on it?
Is because Scott was talking before the show about a friend of his who, and I like how we use the term friend loosely.
I don't have any friends. Who the hell are you talking
so
about?
An acquaintance of his decides to get together, and you haven't seen a guy in a while, and you're thinking you're going to have a great time, and then they open up and saying, by the way, I used to, my dad used to have sex with my sister or something.
Yes.
Like, how do you respond to that when you're hanging out in a social setting?
They don't teach you that in Trailer Park 101, so some of the things that have been told to me, I've seen, I thought I would never hear in my life, and it happens more than you think. And how you react to it is you can only be supportive and be patient and let them get it out, because they got enough acid arsenic in there to kill you one day at a time.
I think that's, I don't know. I mean, is it appropriate? That's the big question. And you know what? I think we've lost our filters. And in reality, I think we've lost our mind. Because by losing our minds, we don't have and a filter is like things I will talk about. I haven't seen someone in 20 years, and by the way, I don't have any testicles. I mean, it's like, that's the story that I heard at your...
Yes.
At your...
he never shared that story with me, but for some odd reason he shared it with you.
So we're at a bachelor party, okay? Scott's had
first marriage.
His first
the
marriage.
Thornton VFW in Thornton, Illinois.
Okay.
Enough chicken, enough food to feed an army. 12 people showed up.
So I'm a little uptight, as I usually am in social settings, and this guy is like, warmed up to me, and he's like, oh, by the way, I don't have any testicles. Like, I'm having a drink, like a pop, and he said, oh, yeah.
Maybe we had Rocky Mountain oysters that day.
I have no idea, but he says, by the way, I don't have any balls. That's what he said. I don't have any balls. And I'm like, what'd you do, get married?
What was your reaction to that? Were you supportive? Technically,
and he's like, and then he's like, "Do you want to see?" And I'm like, and then he went into detail.
I
about
played
how
football
this
with that man for 3 years, never seen the junk. So there you go.
But I mean, we're in a public place. I don't know him, and he felt so comfortable to say, "By the way, it was a farming accident, and a thatcher went through my pants, and my father had to cut the remaining of my junk." To free it from the thatcher.
You want to know where he was from? Where General Ben was filmed. The little thing. He was from that same town. He was on the set, the whole shot. Serious. In Louisiana.
I mean, you can't be critical. I mean, it's like, oh, by the way, and I don't know. And then years later, as I'm playing softball in Seattle, another guy shares, oh, by the way, my testicles are fake. I had testicular cancer.
Well,
I'm like,
happens.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with me, I think.
Maybe you're a Paul man.
Right pocket. Okay.
Right pocket. Billiards.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just think that the Greg that was raised by his grandmother and by
the Catholic Church.
The Catholic Church and
the sisters.
The sisters and everybody
and
else.
And the white guilt.
That it was one of these things that is not real. Okay, because this is not the world I live in today. The world I live in today is not that world.
If you took horse shit and threw it up and put it in a bucket, that's the world you live in today. Horse shit vomit. Serious. How disappointed you are by life. You're like, if you got to this point, you're like, man. Now you know when dad or whoever came home and they go, how was your day, honey? Oh, it was great. Maybe he found out that someone had a little bit of dingleberry somewhere. Or,
I don't know. I think it's...
They didn't have HBO back then and Dr. Phil. They had it, they went,
Phil.
Whoa!
Phil Donahue was the man. He was the one that was doing it and getting it done. He kind of brought a lot of this stuff to... Because you know what?
Yeah.
Life is not a fairy tale.
Dick Cabot, actually, and him.
Right.
And a little bit of Douglas, but not too much.
But life is not a fairy tale. Life is real, and you know what? People are hurt. People are feeling, and it's like, are you trying to shock me or share something that's deeply personal? Because you know what? You really don't know me well enough to share this with me.
You don't know me. Sorry.
Does that make sense?
Yes. But I would say bring it on because I could use... I like good stories.
Now, I'm not being critical. I understand the reason why, but it's just like I'm sharing this story with you because I don't know if you've ever gone through something like this, and this seems to be a constant theme in my life. When we come back, we are going to talk about the death of society that's known as Facebook when we return in just a moment.
Amen, brother. Hey,
middle of the truck.
you're a failure, Scott. I'm gonna go take Chet the truck and drive Escanaba in a 28-foot travel trailer. That friend Struss of yours. You got any ice cream? You got any ice cream?
Hi. And we have returned. Thank you so much. Young Ed Mueller is back.
Yeah.
And nothing broke tonight. Ed,
Nothing
did you
broke.
break anything tonight? Because we always blame you for breaking stuff. I don't know if you know that or not. Do you know that? I always blame you for breaking stuff. So I'll be talking with Lee out. I'll be talking with Lee out here. And so, what did Ed break this week? So it's either Ed or Jeremy in Master Control. So it's all out of love. Anyway, it's time for what's our favorite segment in the show.
Are we ready in the control room?
Well, let's do it. Let's do like a medium.
Taboo Topics!
You look great, by the way.
I know, I feel great.
You look good. You got an energy about you.
I got energy even though somebody took a little bit of energy out of me today.
Okay. Mount McKinley in Alaska was renamed Mount Denali, thankfully not after the GMC product. Thank you. And people in Ohio are peed off. And why? It ain't your mountain, people. Okay? It's the people of Alaska's mountain. The mountain is in Alaska. However, it was named after President McKinley, who was a great man and a great president for his time. And he happened to be from the state of Ohio, where, is it the House Majority Leader John Bonner is from? Is he from Ohio?
I cannot tell you. I see his face, but
Okay.
Rumsfeld.
No.
No? Wrong guy?
So, anyway, President Obama is going to Alaska. He will have been to Alaska by the time we're here. He's participating in a global summit for the alleged global warming, okay? So people in Alaska are talking about how all of the glaciers are melting. I've never been to Alaska. Evidently, it's just a beautiful sight when you go along, the water and you see the glaciers and the mountains and all that other stuff.
Ladies, if you're looking to get,
Why did I just wipe
some love, there's 6 men to every 1 woman up there.
Absolutely.
So it's Wiener City.
Very high rate of alcoholism and substance abuse. But that aside, here's what happens. So, the president is going to Alaska for a global warming summit. He decides to name Mount McKinley Mount Denali, okay? And one of the things that the people in the global warming sector talk about is how these oil rigs that are out there that are digging in the ocean are also causing global warming, supposedly.
The Chinaman.
Whatever it is. So I'm wondering if this is kind of like a little Shell game, no pun intended, because Shell is an oil company.
That's true.
And a little bit of smoke and mirrors that by giving the Alaskan people and creating this what do we call it? This controversy over a name of a mountain that's in another state that the people in Ohio are all peed off about, that it takes away the focus that, by the way, we have oil digging in our ocean, in Alaska, that is supposedly causing global warming. It's contributing to it. So it's like a smoke and mirrors little thing, I think. What do you think?
I think we get lied to every day. And as we turn into Russia, being socialism, being with your welfare, and everybody wants to buy the cheapest 2x4 and wants to pay the same price on TV, we are going to be Russia in years, if not now.
It's just getting ridiculous. So
The USSR is what I'm trying
I
to say.
don't have any idea if it's going to happen in our lifetime.
It will. It's happening now.
So my guess, taboo topic, is that this is all BS, and that it's a way of placating the oil companies that are digging, that are causing the so-called global warming, which may not be, because the Earth ages like the rest of us. I went through different phases in my life. I had the diarrhea phase, I had the anorexic phase, the bulimia phase, the alcoholic phase, I had the thin phase, I had the fat phase, and I've had the well phase. All right? So in life, we go through various stages of change. What's to say that our planet doesn't go through the stage of change, through maturity? We have an old Earth, okay? It's old. It happens. So I don't know about the whole global warming thing. I'm not an expert in it, but I think it's another way that people have made money and scared us into thinking that, because what are we doing? We're buying cars, different kinds of cars, right?
Yes.
So it contributes to the economy.
Yes.
We're buying different kinds of, energy.
Yes.
Okay, so what's it created? It's created new industries.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Recycling.
Yes. But there's also money involved in that,
yes.
Right?
Big business.
So big business has come out of all of this.
Big business.
So we're done with that topic.
Whew, God.
All right. The next topic is what I'm calling the death of society via Facebook. Now, you're going to say, Greg, you're crazy.
Greg, you're crazy.
You're loco. For our friends in Cicero, Gregorio is loco. He's crazy. Because the death of society via Facebook, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to share something from my everyday life. I have a client.
I want a close-up shot of him now.
Okay, this is like really emotional,
okay.
so let's get into it.
Yes.
I shouldn't say I have a client. I know of a client who decided to leave treatment, and they were under investigation by DCFS, okay? So DCFS is the Department of Children and Family Services, all right? When you got one investigation going, it's pretty bad. When you got two investigations going, you got to get your stuff together, okay? So all of a sudden, there's a little bird that comes in, whispers, and says, by the way, have you been on Facebook? So I go on Facebook, I take a look at this individual's stuff, and here this drama is playing out. We are talking every dirty detail of a relationship, we're talking every dirty detail of what went on, and every dirty detail that, guess what? That DCFS social worker can look up and say, oh, by the way.
Could.
Yep. Now, the smart person, now me, if I'm hiring someone today, where am I going?
Facebook.
Why?
A lot of chicks. What?
It always comes back to that with you. All right.
To sneak up and see a person's demographic.
And who they are, okay?
Yep.
So if I'm posting pictures on the weekend that I went out drinking, is it showing that I have a drinking problem because I drink? No. But it's showing that I like to party. Possibly.
And who doesn't love the party?
Okay. But if it's a company and you're single, it's how are we presenting ourselves in public? And this is a public medium. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when we air our dirty business, remember that one person we were talking about a few weeks ago in our show that was heavily edited because of the language?
Yes.
She was talking about things that were of a personal nature on Facebook.
And it is forever in her encyclopedia for people to see.
Yeah. So I can't take that back once people see something. I'm sure there's pictures floating of me somewhere during my days and nights of being out late. Wow.
I looked pretty hot when I had my naked selfies.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess that's about it.
I'm sorry. I'm glad I was here.
I'm glad all this time just went by. So we talked about we talked about Mount Denali. We talked about the global warming myth, possibly, we don't know. And we also talked about the end of society and civilization due to Facebook. Now, I'm being kind of tongue-in-cheek here because, we can't blame Facebook. We just got to use some common sense, I think, when it comes to what we share in public.
And be respectful when you're on your damn phone at a table. Take the time, shut it off, have dinner, then turn it back on.
And tell your kids to sit down and stop running around. Anyway, thanks so much for coming in. I want to thank Michael, stepped up today.
Mike has stepped up to the
plate to direct. We have Young Ed Bueller. We have Bobby Ludra on sound. Greg Struss, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Wow.